And a happy good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. This is your favorite North Louisiana flying addict / drug salesman, coffee connoisseur, Kylo. We are sitting right under the center of Hurricane, or what used to be Hurricane Barry, Tropical Depression Barry, whatever that is, that spinny, low pressure, rainy, windy thing that has come right over my part of the woods and has shut down training and flying and all other outdoor activities that I so enjoy. Maybe rain fishing is a thing, but I don't want to get into that. So I thought I would do a studio video today and have a little talk about how to fly and when to fly. I sort of did a blurb on it in the truck a couple of weeks ago when I was editing some footage last night and I found it. And I made some valid points, but it just wasn't all put together exactly right. I thought it would be a perfect idea for a studio video. So here we are. How to fly. There's obviously technique involved in how to fly paramotors, paragliders. That's not so much what this video is about. When to fly and how to fly. And there's so much on this topic. I could probably go on for hours on this very topic and touch on all kind of different details, but I'm gonna condense it down into sort of the, I guess, the Cliff Notes version. So when to fly. Well, that is strictly determined by the pilot's skill level. Some pilots can fly in just almost anything, the trashiest of the trashiest air. They could probably fly through and survive, and I don't know, for some mentally ill portion of us may not even be fearful of it. And then there's some guys that should probably just stick to the buttery morning and evening air that has almost no movement at all. And then there's pilots that come in all levels of in between. You know, you hear this kind of oddity saying online about never fly a paramotor midday. That's not exactly true. In the beginning, when you're learning to fly and you're a new to an intermediate pilot, flying in the middle of some days can just be outright dangerous. Now, what kind of spurred on this video as well was yesterday. This hurricane was moving in. We were having some pretty gnarly gusts, and I actually shot a video about that, and it may have already come out. I don't know. I never know when I'm going to edit the footage that I film, so it may be before, it may be after. We're going to see. That was yesterday when that actually happened. I knew it was raunchy. I knew it was bad. I was just feeling the air out. I had a student there possibly taking a flight. I kind of knew that it wasn't good, but without going up and feeling it for myself, who knows? So I went up and I immediately knew that it was wrong for new guys. And honestly, I knew that before I went. I just wanted to go jump in the water and see what it felt like, so to speak. So it was a double beef, double cheese, double onion McNarly burger with a side of pucker sauce. I took the Universal up on the Maverick. I put extra fuel in it because the winds were pretty strong. They were probably 10 gusting 15. I climbed up and immediately got parked and immediately got rocked. I just knew it wasn't right, so I decided that I didn't want any of that. I made one long loop around the field and I come into land. But as I was coming in and setting up my approach, I went into a thermal, and upon exit on this thermal, I took two huge, they weren't huge. They were probably 20, 30 percenters. I don't know, but it was a cascading collapse. And by that, I mean, I had a right and then I had a left immediately. It was whack, whack like that. That's a cascading event, and it was just two whacks that I took, but it was right and then it was left, and I was just over treetop level. I was pretty low to be taking collapses. I banged both of them out immediately. You know, at this point in my flying, I think I'm making the right moves. When I have a collapse, the last 4 or 5 collapses I've had out in the wild, I have immediately reflexively thrown in the proper moves to keep that thing straight and level and over my head. You know, in the case of a cravat, I fished it out and made a successful landing. 3 of the last 4 collapses I've had happened low, like within a couple of 100 feet of the ground, and that is like the danger zone. You really got to be on your game, and that's why you don't want to fly in those conditions if you're new, inexperienced, and I believe it is a direct result of the numerous SIV events that I've had and trained for and practiced on. Without those type training events, you just don't have the skills and the muscle memory that you really need to react in the event of a collapse like that. And again, I sort of felt it coming. I knew I was in a thermal, and upon exit, there's usually turbulence, but you know, this was like hurricane moving in type stuff. So it was probably a bad decision to launch, but it's a decision that I made and I had to live with. It was not the worst air I've flown in by far, but still, double McNarly pucker sauce. But yeah, leads me to the talk, and I'm just babbling here, so bear with me, okay? As an experienced pilot with SIV training and multiple hundreds of hours in the air, in midday air, you know, I've kind of got it figured out, and the game plan is always the same. If the air is bad, get away from the ground very, very fast. Get high, stay high. The only time you should be near the ground is on takeoff and on approach and landing. And the rest of the time, you want to give yourself as much altitude as you can. Now, the reason yesterday was such an abort, as I mentioned, I immediately got parked, and so climbing high was sort of out of the question. That's going to push me over the trees, you know, over places where I don't want to land, you know, have to come get me in the event of a landing, or put myself low over a no landing situation. All bad moves, all bad decisions. The right decision was to come down and land immediately. Once I realized the wind velocities were beyond my machine, were beyond the craft's capabilities. Yeah, good decision to land. When it's calm, mornings, evenings, when the new and the newly intermediate pilots are flying, you really can go any altitude, and in low to no winds, you can go any direction low, because every landing is a fast landing. It's nil wind. You've got no wind in any direction. That's the time when you want to get low, when you want to practice your foot drags, your low flying, your map of the earth, following the terrain, going over trees and fences and things that you have studied ahead of time, because you're not to be flying low in areas you're not familiar with due to unseen power lines and hazards that may be invisible to you. So if you're going to fly low in an area, it is highly recommended to explore that area from the ground or from a safe altitude before you put yourself in a spot where you're too low and cannot escape. People have been hurt and killed because they did not do that. When to fly. Check your forecast, check your weather, you know, dip your toes in the water, go out and kite. I was kiting in it, and if I'm able to kite in it, I'm more or less able to fly in it, because every flight starts and stops with a kiting session. So if you're kiting and you can do it just fine, you can take off just fine. And if you're landing and you're still able to kite just fine, then that's probably going to be a non-event. If you're having difficulty kiting in whatever conditions it is you're in, it's probably not a good idea to launch, because you may fumble the launch, you may fumble the landing. You need to be in full control of that glider, and if the conditions don't allow full control, then they're the wrong conditions for you. You shouldn't be out there playing around in them. That's it in a nutshell. Again, I just had an idea for this video, just a quick little talk about how to fly, when to fly, and every situation is different. This is not chiseled in stone. It's different for everybody. You've got to evaluate conditions, terrain, your environment, whether it's a big grassy field, whether there's water, trees, fences, obstructions, other airplanes, you know, anything at all that could be a factor needs to be considered. It's all different. It's all different. Every situation is different. It should be gauged and evaluated from the ground and in depth before you initiate the go. And at any point you can stop. And again, looking back and reflecting on yesterday, maybe I shouldn't have went. I don't know. But I did. And it was not beyond my skill set. I was able to handle it. It just kind of spooked me that I had those whacks real low like that. I don't mind whacks high. I don't mind anything high. But when I'm low to the ground, I'm on point. And I recommend that you be that way as well. And even the best pilots, on point all the time, do run into situations where they get slammed in low because, hey, Mother Nature. She is what she is, and sometimes she's a mean, cruel bitch, and she will slam your ass to the ground mercilessly, and you will suffer injuries and death because of it. You know, roll the dice if you're a gambler. I'm not going to tell you not to. I'm just telling you it's risky. And, you know, there's risks that we take. My risk was launching. The best decision probably would have been to not launch. But I wanted to fill it out. It was something I wanted to accept that risk. I had a field, I had the skills. Again, you have to ask yourself these same questions. It's different for everybody. That was just a quick synopsis on my decision. Maybe the video's out, maybe it's not. I'll link it here if it is. There you go. I hope you got something out of this. I just love sharing the knowledge of the sport. I've been training full time. Just an update on channel news. Video production has slowed just a little bit. I am in full-time training mode. I'm working every day of the week. Again, the only reason that I have this morning off is because it's Sunday and there's a hurricane outside blowing around. I know it's not a hurricane anymore. Don't give me any flack on that in the comment section. I call it whatever. So Hurricane Barry, whatever it was, that's what's here now. That's why I'm able to shoot this video. Again, the videos have been, production's been delayed. The stuff I'm editing is the stuff that I filmed several weeks ago, and you guys are just gonna have to bear with me. I am pumping out new pilots on the regular, and the training is going great. The school is fully operational. I'm purchasing new gear all the time. Every 2 or 3 students that I get, that I train, I have the money to purchase new equipment for the school. So the school is steadily growing. And my hope is to get enough gear to accommodate 4 to 5 pilots at a time at the school. Right now I'm about 3 to 4 with gear that I have available. And I'm trying to grow that number so that I can do maybe 4, 5, 6 at a time. I've got tandem gear. I've got a tandem wing. It's still in the box, still in the truck out there. I need to open that thing up, but there's really no need. I'll probably do an unboxing video. Those are fun. I guess some of you guys like those. I need to get some spreader bars. I've got harnesses. I've got the skills to do it. I'll be offering up tandem rides real soon so that we can get them up, get them flying with me present right there at the controls with them, talking them through the maneuvers. Maybe make that first flight a little less stressful, you know, use it as a training tool. That's what foot launch tandems are for. That is about the size of it. Everything is fine. Family's great. Patreon supporters have come out in mass and they're supporting me to the point where it's really starting to help. You know, I'm getting some return on all the input that I've put in on these videos. And so huge thanks to the Patreon supporters. You know, you guys are, yeah, the more money that goes in that bucket, the better the production's going to be on my end. So I hope you like it. The consensus that I've kind of felt out is people just say, keep doing what you're doing, Kyle. We like it. I don't know. I don't know how else to make videos. Nobody ever taught me to do this. I just make these videos how I see fit and dump them out there onto the interwebs and see if you guys like them. It seems to me that the majority of people out there watching videos want to see boobs and crashes. Those videos seem to get more clicks than any other kind of stuff that I throw out there. This video will not be popular. It's just me sitting at a table, drinking coffee, talking to you about stuff that I know. I'm so sorry. Maybe I'll put a pretty girl up here. I got a green screen. Boobs, cleavage. Maybe I'll use this as the thumbnail and everybody will click on it. Tricked you. I think that's called clickbait. Maybe I do a little bit of clickbaity stuff. I won't disappoint you. Look, boobs. Enough of all that business. If you're liking what I'm throwing out, hey, I appreciate the support that those of you that can afford it are giving me back. Don't do it if you can't afford it, and don't sweat it. It doesn't matter to me if I had 0 patrons at all. I love all you guys just the same, and I'm glad you're watching the channel, and I hope you're getting something out of it. I just want to share the love, man. That's really my goal with this thing, is just to share what I love, and that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to be genuine about it. I don't want to take sponsors. Getting the donations really helps, and that's just a huge part of, I didn't know how it was going to work out, but I'm accepting it, and I really like it, and I hope you do. I hope you like it too. I hope you like what I'm offering, and okay, enough on that. I'm done talking now. This is the end of the video. I've completed all the topics. I hear the wind blowing. It's crazy. You never hear the wind blowing inside, but it's blowing out there. Maybe we're in the eye of the storm. Okay, I'm babbling again. All right, guys. Much love, everybody. Kyle out.